Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with you. I'm going to turn closed captioning on because I forgot to do that. That's going to be okay. Hi, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you could throw those back at me if you wanted to. You don't have to. Harold is now hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate it very much. Thank you, as always, my friend. We're going to hang out here for a little bit in the intro portion of the stream. Hopefully a few more folks will choose to join us. We would love that. We always love that. It's the best. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Today was a busy day. Hi, Harold. Yes, thank you for the emotes. I'll talk about that a little bit. Here, right off the bat, I will say, a Eagle Eye viewer said, "Hey, I think the feet are on wrong on this kit," and I have corrected that mistake. I had put the ankle pieces together incorrectly, and then it made the feet off center, and now they're lined up properly, and they look better. And so yeah, somebody just happened to notice in the photo said, "Hey, I think the legs are on wrong somewhere. The feet maybe are wrong, but it was the ankles." So fix that, which is good. So the kit is basically body complete. It needs weapons, which which we'll do first, and then it needs armor. It's got, it's got so much dang armor. It's got exterior armor. It has got all of these big pieces here, that have to go on over it. It makes it look like a different kit. It is why some people say they wish they had two of these, so they could do armor and non-armor. But this is a rad-looking kit. Oh, also, I don't think I ever showed off that it's got shoulder or no arm. It's got arm guns, pop-up arm guns, which is great. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome, welcome. Of course, we are going to be working on the kit Lashbrook picked up for me when this is completed. So maybe today, but probably Monday, because I don't know how long it's going to take to build all the armor. The weapons are a bazooka, a gun, and then a shield, so it's not much for that. Oh, Epic Open World just subscribed with Prime for 17 months, saying, "Hey, Pat and chat." Well, hey, back at you. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat, and thank Epic Open World for that fantastic support. Appreciate it very much, my friend. Gonna hit the old chat thing there. Yeah, throw some emotes in there and say thank you. Welcome, welcome, and of course, thank you very much for renewing your subscription. It's always a pleasure, and then I got used to it just saying Prime. Doesn't say Twitch Prime anymore. It's just Prime. But yeah, thank you for using your Prime to support me, because it does mean a lot. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. So we're gonna work on this kit. I don't know if we'll finish it up today. If we'll get most of it done. I do have the next kit waiting for me here, right off the side. Prime time, indeed. The Impulse Arc. I keep going to show you the overhead. We're not there yet. We already built one Impulse. Now we're going to build the other. That's what's up next. Yeah. We're just going to hope a few more folks decide to join us tonight. If Saturday is a chill stream, that's okay. We've had a few chill streams lately, so I would love it if we got a little more, more people coming in and checking this out. But that's okay. And we a few regulars we haven't seen in a little bit. I hope Ultron and Asmo are cool, because y'all were here a lot. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I hope that you're doing well. What's up, Christian? I hope you're good out there. Some of our old school regs. Lord Crashton's here, but where's Lord Stockton? Lord Stockton, where you at? But we got a few of the major regs, so I appreciate that. I'm gonna hit the retweet on this, try to remind people that we're doing this thing, and then we'll get into building. I'll talk a little bit about what's going on with me, your friend Pat, with the overhead camera. Dun dun dun, overhead camera. Yeah, so we got our friend here doing its thing. Where's the H-bomb friends? He owes me money. Yeah. No, I know where Harold is. Harold is hosting the stream. As long as it's not the Saturday of the month where Loading Ready Run is doing Loading Ready Live, Harold's going to be here on a Saturday, unless it's got something else going on, because you're your own person and you got stuff going on. But most of the time, I know you're going to be here hanging out. But then there's that Saturday stream where it's like, this is what I want to do, and I get it. I get it. Um, let's see. Where do I want to start? Okay, so we're going to start on the gun here. I'll just put this aside and kind of see him hanging out. We'll put him up here. Can't see him there. There he is. You can see him in the distance, standing over me his back is to me as I built this kit. But yeah, one thing I want to point out about this kit. Not always do I point out stuff like this, but this is cool. So there's a little piece here of green, which is going to be like your sight or something there. Uh, uh, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, there's a little piece of green there. You can see that. Instead of a sticker, it's a piece of plastic. Isn't it nice when they give you a piece of plastic instead of just put a sticker on there? That is called, I don't know. It's not called customer service. It's the little things. It's a little detail that I appreciate. Don't know what I wanted to say there, but it's cool. I talked a lot today. I had a couple videos to record, and then including I recorded a PAX panel today. That's right. Last night I was in a PAX panel that was not my own. I have not been advertised to be in it yet, so I am waiting for them to start mentioning who's in that panel. But today I recorded Baer's Anime Club, and it went pretty dang well. We uh, we went over time, and I'm gonna have to edit it because we went over time. Um, but it was a great panel. I had a great time doing it. My guests are rad as heck, um, and you'll appreciate that. And I think it'll go great. And because of the way timing of it works, it's going to go up on a Sunday as part of PAX, and the next day it'll be out for patrons, not for patrons. It'll be out the next day for everybody as my Baer's Anime Club, every other Monday stream. So how does that work? Do you send the recording packs? Yes, Epic Open World. So there are some that are going to be live, like some Q&A things, maybe some demos that for companies that don't want to do it recorded and don't want to send a recording in. They really want to do it live. They might be doing live panels, but for most of the panels, they've requested it be recorded. So I recorded in OBS with friends, and then I edit it down to something manageable, and then I'm currently letting it process in Google Drive because it's a big file because I tried to make it as high quality as possible, and then I'm going to send that out to the PAX people, and they can download it and they can put it and then just stream it out. And then I'll be in chat while it's happening. Is what I basically was like. Oh, I guess I'll just do that because that seems like the best thing to do. And then the next day it'll go up on my YouTube, including a bonus video that will go up in the future because I had to cut. I couldn't just you can trim things here or there, which I did, but I cut basically a segment out of the panel to make it within the runtime specifications. So I cut a bit of the panel out, and then I'm just going to basically be like, okay, well, I'm going to put this on my YouTube if you want to see it later, and we'll just do that as like a bonus because it's good. What I ended up cutting out is like pretty great. Also, yeah, so I don't know. I just I wanted to, even if I couldn't use it in the panel, I didn't want to just delete it because it was good content. It's just I think not doing it in front of an audience, we just got kind of comfortable and relaxed, and we got into that streamer mindset of, because we're all streamers that did it, of oh well, yeah, we got a time thing, but we can take our time with this, and we really couldn't take our time with it as much as we were pretending. Even with only having 2 guests instead of 3 plus myself, because the first time I did it, I had 3 guests, and I just ended up cutting people off a lot, which I tried not to do in this one. So I still think this is the right way to go. The format I went with is the good idea it works for the format. I just need to keep pace a little bit more. But yeah, it was a good time recording. Oh, here's the thing I found out. Now, I know at some point in the time of Google Hangouts, you could make it so everyone who was talking in a Google Hangout appeared in the same like tile set. Like, like the same size images would appear together. I know that was a thing. I don't know why but when I went to go use, and so I didn't check it. I didn't check it, right? I didn't double check that the thing that I know to be true uh, was accurate and true. I was just like, well, that's the thing that works, right? So we get in Google Hangouts because I don't want to use Zoom. I don't have a Zoom premium account. And I was like, well, just do a Google Hangout and that'll be fine. Couldn't figure out how to get my camera in. So I could trick things around and just use my webcam and not send my image out through Google Hangout to my guests, but I want them to be able to see me as I'm talking and not just hear me, because it's just easier that way. So I didn't end up doing that. Okay, I don't know why this isn't going in. So it ended up being that the solution was to use Jitsi, which is free, and so it's not the downside is right now is to start a thing, to open a room up in Jitsi, you just type in a name and then you can send an invite to other people, but you could like guess the name. Like I don't know who would, but there's no like random generation like thing, which I think there should be. You can schedule them as well, which is cool. So we ended up using that, and then I just did window capture. It doesn't look particularly as great, especially my camera, I think, didn't look as great doing it that way. But I guess there's a thing called OBS Ninja that makes it easier to, it's like a peer-to-peer for this very thing. But I've never used that before, so I didn't want to find out how it worked. I'm probably going to experiment with that in OBS. But I wanted to use OBS for the overlays because overlays are cool. And also, I wanted it to very much feel like this PAX panel, like other panels. So I wanted to make sure that it looked right. And looked like, yeah, I didn't want it to look like I just recorded a thing and it wasn't official or part of it. So, yeah. But I don't really mess with overlays too much. And I'll also admit, I could have cropped things better. I could have we're not in all our windows as well as we could be, but whatever. I'm fairly happy with the finished product, and the content I'm very happy with. I think that we made a very, very good panel. So I'll be promoting that as it goes. It's coming up. I can hit this right here. Pat Baer's Anime Club, Yelling About the Shows We Love, featuring Coriander Dickinson and Brendan Beachderry, is going to be Sunday, the 13th of September at 6:45 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/PAX2. That's the information, because that was the Pat Baer's Anime Club. That was the whole thing. It's still here because I recorded it in OBS. Yeah, but I think it turned out as a good panel. The editing is a little sloppy because I'm a little sloppy about editing, because I mostly just wanted to get it done. But I got it done, and I'm happy with how it turned out. So what are you gonna do? I hope that people like it, I guess, is what the only thing I could say. I think they will. I hope they do. All right, we need A7. Putting together our bazooka. You gotta have a bazooka. I mean, So they having streams all night at PAX. Yes. So it's PAX West and PAX Australia combined because they know they can't do either of those. So they canceled both of those conventions and did this instead. So it's running 24 hours a day for 9 days, which is probably too many fucking days. But also a thing that a friend of mine said, and who I don't want to mention, but I fully agree with. They were like, well, a lot of those people got to justify their jobs because they're not running conventions right now. So a big 9-day con instead of uh, two 4-day cons, and the people that put on, there are people on the ground in Australia that are very different from people at PAX West and East and South and Unplugged. But it's still a company that like kind of has to justify why all these people have jobs. In that respect, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But then also, 9 days is a long fucking thing, and it definitely doesn't feel as special. Um, so I have no idea how many people are going to watch my Sunday stream. Like I'm going to advertise and promote it, and hopefully, people will want to watch it. And I will, I guess, most likely not say that it's going to be on YouTube the very next day anymore. Probably not going to say that again. I will probably say like, hey, there's bonus stuff, but probably not that. Because uh, want people to watch that and see it. Want to have good numbers for the PAX Unplugged online, which I don't know how PAX. I mean, I can gather how PAX Unplugged online is going to go, but I mean that's my guess. I should say, they have not announced that Unplugged is going to be an online only event. They have not announced that. I cannot tell you they're doing that. I can only tell you that uh, I don't think they should. I don't think Philly's going to be ready for a convention, so hopefully they won't. I'll have to study a schedule to know what is worth watching in all those 9 days. Yeah, I think like I'm gonna once I get a better feel of that. Now that I finished my thing, I still have to upload. Well, I uploaded it. I still have to process because it's a big file, so I have to process all of it. But once it's done processing, I will I will do my best to get people to kind of take a look at like what's hot on the schedule, what people should be checking out. All right, so we got more of our bazooka to put together here. We need more of K. The K sheets. G-H-I-J K. Is this green? But yeah, I hope people come and check it out. I think it's going to be a very fun bunch of days. There'll be some cool shit and some demos from game devs, and I'm sure there'll be a Jackbox panel because Jackbox at PAXbox is a fantastic stream. So I'm sure they'll do that. That one I bet will be a live one. I bet they won't pre-record that because that way you have the audience participation. But since they have a new pack coming out in October, I believe, like it makes sense for them to want to do a September event. So I'm assuming they're doing one. I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming they are. Jackbox Party Packs. That's right. It's Jackbox Party Packs is the name. Jackbox at PAXbox is their old name, and they replaced it with the probably better, but I don't like as much, Jackbox Party Packs. If you're watching Young Horses, if you demo Bugsnax, you'll get 1 million views. Just do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I have no idea what the demos are going to be and what companies are doing stuff. Um, I also don't know. Like, I assume that they will that they were looking to do conventions this year because Young Horses has not done the convention scene in a while because they basically did enough conventions for all their shit and then they had new shit. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to be demoing when that stuff's going to be coming out. Uh, I'm sure Phil knows that there's an audience that is interested in seeing what he's up to in the company. It's not just him, but everybody. That'd be cool. I want to let you know, folks, that my mystical powers have never been stronger because today I managed to manifest rain. That's right. Over the past few days, it was supposed to rain every day here in South Carolina, and it didn't. It didn't rain. It didn't rain at all. Just days and days of no rain, and we didn't know what was going on and why it wasn't raining. And then, don't worry, I went for a walk, and it started raining 5 minutes into that walk. So the rain came. So if you were worried about like, oh man, I don't know when this rain is going to come to Pat's area in South Carolina, don't worry, it came. It showed up, and it was like, oh hey, what's up? We're going to dump a bunch of water on you. And then you're going to turn, you're only going to be walking for about 15 minutes, and you're going to turn around and walk back. And don't worry, as soon as you get back to your house to dry off, we're going to stop. Don't worry, we'll wait. We'll wait for you. You only have a limited time today because of recording things and various other things you got to do today. So we won't. We'll only rain for a little while. We won't give you enough time to like go back out after you dry off. But so yeah, I will say this, folks, a little peeved when I woke up to or when I got rained on and it like poured, and then there was not rain. It was frustrating is the word for what that was. But whatever, it happens. These rain showers. Tomorrow I'm gonna do the stationary bike, and I'll get a real good workout with that stationary bike. Gonna push it real good. Get those gains. Get those crisp gains. Need them. Gotta have them. Important to get those gains. All right, we're putting that in there, and then this slides in here, and then this slides. Oh, goes in at an angle. I gotcha. I'm picking it up. Oops. Okay, so that slides in like that. It's not going in perfect. I need it to be perfect, folks. Gotta do this right, or what's the point in doing it? I hope everyone out there right now has had a good or okay or whatever Saturday. I hope it was fine. It is Saturday as a reminder to folks because sometimes people are like, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what's going on. So sometimes it is helpful to remind you of the day. Yeah, but I'm glad. Look, let's just say this. I recorded a thing for a panel yesterday that I'm on, as I said. I recorded my panel today. Outside of sending it out, or actually filling out the form to give them the link, I'm glad that that's over with, and I don't have to think about it and worry about it. It is nice to have that off my plate as I focus on other things going on with me. Harold says, I would say whatever, but hey, I'm here now. I'm happy to have you here. And I know that sometimes I'm a broken record on this. Like, I'm grateful to have this opportunity. So I want to say that. Having people watch what I do, having these streams and an outlet makes me very happy, and I appreciate it very much that people take the time to watch what I do and to chat. You don't have to be a chatter. You can just hang out. If you want to lurk, you can lurk. But it does mean a lot to me that people decide to spend some time with me. I'm here 6 hours a week building model kits, and then another hour and a half to 2 hours doing something else, and I like that. Makes me happy. Epic Open World says, so I'm excited, Pat. Control is getting a patch this month that fixes the issue I had with the game. You can adjust damage levels and way more save points and checkpoints. I get to enjoy the rad game now. So I would say damage, I didn't necessarily, that didn't affect me as much. I know it affects some people, but save points and checkpoints, yeah. They really goofed about that. Now I love Control. I think that game owns, but I love it knowing that it has its faults, and one of its faults is holy fucking shit. What are they doing here? Why would you do it this way? Why why would you do it this way? So this is where you checkpoint me, that kind of stuff. So that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Um, that's long overdue. It's probably stuff they're working on while they're working on the Alan Wake thing. So that's good. Um, Also, because there will be possibly people who are like, oh, there's DLC for that game I never got. Oh, people like that game. Maybe I'll check it out. So, like, there exists the possibility that there may be new people coming to the world of Control because of the DLC, because it'll get some buzz out there with people talking about it. So it's possible that like, it's a good time to do it. Uh, All right, so this is going to swing down. This goes like that. And then this goes, oops, I did this in the wrong order. Order, wrong. I don't want to say order lol, but that's what it was. Put this there. So that locks down. It's part of the thing that slides around a bit. This goes in here. Work on the shield now, so we got to finish the shield up. But yeah, I'm glad I got stuff done and I can focus on other things going on with me. And hopefully I'll have things to share. I felt like the enemies were a bit of a bullet sponge, so I wanted to adjust damage a bit. No, I appreciate that. I can totally understand where you're coming from. Some of those enemies were bullet spongy and required some effort, so you're not wrong. Okay. Snip this. Got our big old shield here, but our shield is this thing where it has components and moves around. Gotta clip a bunch of stuff to get this off. There we go. All right. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to share some stuff that's coming up for me. Also, I gotta decide. Well, I don't have to decide. I gotta promote on my Patreon and then send to other people like my schedule for next week because I think next week I'll be doing next week I think I'm gonna go back to Twitch Sings because it's been a hot minute and I like doing that stream. So I think I'll do Twitch Sings and then. How does this connect? And then I don't know what I'm going to do after that in the future of singing streams, so I got to figure that out. Okay, so this went on like this, and then this goes here. Oops, sorry everybody. Figure this out. But yeah, I think my next stream will be a singing stream because I enjoy doing Twitch Sings. I think it's fun. So I'll do that, and then I got to put a poll up because my $3, $5, and $10 patrons get to vote on what I sing next. But I don't know what I'm going to do yet for that. Okay, so this goes like this, and this goes like this. Okay, and that goes like that. Oh, does it go up? Oh, okay, so it goes up. It goes up, folks. I didn't bend this down. I had it like this. It's supposed to go like that. No, I got it. I spent the day replaying the Titanfall 2 campaign, and that game is still real good. Yeah, here's the thing, y'all. Titanfall 2 is real good, and not enough people played Titanfall, and not enough people played Titanfall 2. And that's okay. It's a shame, but like that happens, and I get that. I wish more people had played it, but I'm not under delusion that it was ever going to be the biggest game in the world. But it's a bit of a bummer. I will say that that more people didn't check out that lovely game. Yeah, you want more people to play, and I feel like not enough people played too. Um, and then now there's an extended Titanfall universe that's not the same thing and doesn't do what I would like it, but that's okay. Uh, Harold. Oh, so Harold was joking around. What's Titanfall? Is it anything like Halo? And then Lastbrick says it's like Halo if Halo was good, and that's not that's not it. But it's like what if they made a good modern mech game that was an action game, like instead of because like strategy mech they're out there they're great, uh, but uh, but just like a good actiony or a game where you can get out of your mech and you're not done. You don't really want to, but you're not done. And I like that. I believe EA gives Titanfall one more shot, and we get Titanfall 3 if it bounces again. No more Titanfall. Epic Open Worlds, I don't know. I think we got Titanfall 3 already, and it's not called Titanfall 3, and it's not the same thing, and it doesn't have the mechs like you want. But there is a Titanfall 3 out there. Um, and that's a shame. Uh, but yeah, I think that it is a shame. But I think Respawn makes good stuff, and I'm excited about what they do, in the future. But it is, yeah, I think Apex is Titanfall 3. So, I mean, well, technically, Titanfall Assault is the real-time strategy one that was on iOS, and I hear is bad, but like legit bad. But no, I think that uh, like they're doing Medal of Honor. They'll do, but they, like, but they're. I don't think they're gonna do another Titanfall. I think Apex Legends is their Titanfall 3. Apex killed Titanfall 3. Yes. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Lashbrook to me it's not that Titan that Apex Legends Apex saved Titanfall 3 because that Titanfall 3 was not going to come out. So instead, they were able to use ideas they created for Titanfall 3 in Apex because there's no way you don't get a third game in a series that doesn't do well unless the owner of a company loves your game. Like you just don't get to fuck up twice. And look, I think the first Titanfall was sent to die, and it was they had a lot going against them, and I think two was handled better, and I think that two was pushed, but it just didn't translate, and people weren't into it, probably because of what happened with one, and then that's it. And I don't know how to, I think that you get it. They will do another Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah. Yeah, Epic World, I would agree with you there. I think we'll see another Jedi Fallen Order because that did very well and it was well received. So they'll probably do another one of those. Uh, yeah, and I don't know if we're gonna see a like another like. I mean, we'll see updates to Apex. I don't know if they'll be working on it, but um, yeah, I just can't imagine they do another Titanfall. Uh, it's a thing. Apex isn't a game for me, but I appreciate that it got made. I think the people love it, and I'm glad that it exists for them. But yeah, it's not super, like it's not my thing. So we got our shield here, and I just want to point out that it's got this like I don't. It's got this thing. It does. It does like a canopy thing. It's the whole thing with this shield. It's like an extra blast shield, but it does leave you like you really want to protect the head there, so you pull that up. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Um, but I'll put this on. Uh, this goes like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a photo of it like this with the weapons. And then I'm going to start putting the armor on because there's a lot of armor to this kit that we still have to implement, but I want to take a photo of what it's going. The shield pops up so the arm guns can shoot through it, Mr. Bob says. First off, hi, Mr. Bob. Secondly, you're totally right. This pops up so that the arm thing can raise and they can shoot through the shield. That makes a lot of sense. So it can do that. That makes a lot of sense. We'll pop up the shield as we take a photo of it. I thought it was like extra support, but it is no, it is for that. That makes total sense, Mr. Bob. Thank you for that information. Uh, I would play Apex if they had non-battle royale mode. Hey, with the domination or deathmatch, the shoot is real good in that game. Yeah, like I said, it's not necessarily for me. But I appreciate it. It's cool. It's got great style. I like a good stylistic, fun game. So, all right, let me take a photo of this. Photo. Take a photo. Took a photo. All right, now we got to put armor on this thing. So we're going to take the shield off here. Pop that out. Pop this off. Oops. Oh, whole arm came off. That's one way to remove the shield. And yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going to put this stuff off because we got to put on a bunch of armor onto this thing. And also I got to put its arm back on, but that's not hard. Arm back on. Great. Okay. So I'm going to put a whole lot of armor on our mobile suit here. Oh, the Gatling gun deploys while equipped with shield. Yes, you're totally right. It says it right there. Okay, so now we're going to put the inner armor on. Now, one thing that's kind of odd about this is there's the inner armor, the armor inner walls, I should say. So we're going to put a piece on this kit, and then we're going to take it off to then put more stuff on it. So it's like the go-between to it, which is odd and kind of reminds me of working on the Iron-Blooded Orphans kits where we like put a piece on to do the skeleton and then you take it off because you have to put the armor on after. So it does remind me a little bit of that. But we'll get started on this. Let's see. So I don't want to get too much into this, but we can. So I don't want to be like pour one out or anything like that. Um, but Kiss. We lost an anime friend today. We lost a anime friend. If you don't want to pay for anime, uh, um, but it is it was there are a lot of people who were bummed about this. I don't. I'm gonna look for the. Uh, yeah, I mean it's an anime piracy site, Kiss Anime, uh, and I'm gonna look to see because there was some information about why this went down. Is closed forever. Uh, but their servers got taken down by copyright owners. So Kiss Manga and Kiss Anime will be closed. Uh, and uh, but I don't know what. Oh, it's Japan has enacted some stricter copyright laws, uh, which is basically targeting sites that link to torrent sites. But It'll be interesting to see what other things that leads to. But yeah, that was the big. That was some big news today. Yeah, Japan does care. Yes, China don't care. Japan does care. Uh, so uh, I'm all about people getting paid, but watching old anime is a mess. Yes, so Mr. Bob, obviously, from an archival standpoint, it is a shame because there is stuff that, and this comes up in a podcast I'd recommend, Anime in America. It's produced by Crunchyroll, and it is, this last episode was about hentai in America, and it was interesting. It was an interesting discussion. Um, but there was a lot of like good talk in that about like these sites, like Crunchyroll went legit, but Crunchyroll was another one of those sites for a long time that moved to legitimize itself. It is a thing that as companies started to realize there was money in America, especially right around the rise of the DVD and the home audience for that. Um, these sites went through trouble and fan subbing kind of died down, but a lot of that is all the stuff that like nobody owns the rights to, so you can't put it out. Or like companies that went under when DVDs went out, when Sam Goody and and a bunch of music stores went out, and suddenly and all these DVDs ended up getting buybacks and had to be bought back, and the market fell out of DVDs. When that happened, companies went out of business that had licensed these shows, and so now you're not going to find a Blu-ray release of those things. You're going to find maybe you can find the DVDs, but they didn't finish the show, and sometimes they do get picked up by other companies. Speaking of Crunchyroll, I saw this week a report that Sony talks about Crunchyroll. Yes, Epic Gold, I saw that. So folks may know this, that for a while there, Funimation and Crunchyroll had a partnership where basically if you had an account with one, you could access stuff on the other. Basically they would make certain shows appear, right? So like uh, uh, it was a beneficial thing between the two. So one of the things that happened was that Sony bought Funimation. So then that partnership between Crunchyroll and Funimation, where you suddenly had some dubs on like Verve and access to a bunch of stuff, and then there were shows that Crunchyroll had helped produce that you could watch on Funimation. That went away. It just became unavailable. The deal expired because of Sony buying out Funimation. So theoretically, theoretically, Sony buying Crunchyroll or acquiring Crunchyroll would unify them once again. Who knows if that would happen? Who knows if that's going to happen? I don't know. These are rumors. I think that competition is good. I think that it's tough to have, it is tough to justify having multiple, to do multiple subscriptions, and I get that, and I am speaking from a place of luxury in that I only pay for one of the two subscriptions I have because I have been gifted another. So I realize that is that I am in a unique situation, and I understand that and can appreciate that. But like Hulu, you find some of the stuff on Hulu, right? That is also part of Funimation. You're not going to find that on not all Funimation shows end up on Hulu, because some of them end up in Anime Lab, and like that's a whole other thing that's happening. So like that can be murky for some people, and there's some people that are like, well, I pay for Hulu, why don't I get this show? Would you need two different brand names if they did that? Just call it Sony Anime Fun Times or something. So Epic Open World, the thing is, So Funimation, obviously, not obviously, but Funimation makes a lot. I think I made this point before. Funimation makes a lot of their money, um, not necessarily on their streaming platform. They do a lot on their streaming platform, but also in their distribution, right? Because they still do, they still are like sell Blu-rays, and they still want to sell physical media. That's still part of their thing, and they want to dub shows and then have those dub shows appear on television to help further sell their Blu-rays. So they're still in the market in that market. So there's still money to be made that way, um, uh, but also like so it is a thing of like there is some competition between the two, and there is probably or probably maybe the belief that uh, it doesn't make any sense to combine them and instead let them be separate things that make the same people money, um, because they're just like different channels on the internet. Um, I would hope that Funimation would use Crunchyroll's web browser because I think their web player is bad on Funimation. Do not enjoy that, um, but but I think that their queue is a lot easier to check out, and I think that it's easier to find stuff on their site than Crunchyroll. But then there are pros and cons. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I can't begin to necessarily make a bunch of predictions. Um, I guess I hope they don't because it feels like that competition. Well, here's the thing, right? Then only one major company is licensing anime for streaming in the US. Two, because Netflix does its own thing. Because you don't count Amazon. You can't count Amazon. They literally have no anime this season. So you can't count Amazon. So it's just Amazon in the US at least. So it's just if it's just one company that is now doing all of that, that is bad for consumers. Having them, those two companies work together is good, I think. And, we can't do that right now because Sony doesn't want to do that, which is a shame. So if there was a way for these companies um, to like work together, and again, I think that would be great for consumers. But the idea of like a monolith, because there are shows. Look, I bet there are shows that one group gets and the other was like but I bet there's some that they're like, yeah, we didn't pursue that. We don't have any interest in doing that. Um, uh, and so because there are still shows that don't get picked up. Now, some of the shows that don't get picked up are uh, shorts, like the little mini shows, the 5-minute shows, the 12-minute shows. Some of those don't get picked up. Most of but there are still like kids programming that doesn't get translated, and there's still anime that comes out that you can't get. Um, I want Right Stuff kind of does this, but I would love a company to do basically like to get old shows, to just get the licenses to old shows that and do the work of like kind of like the Rhino collection thing, what is the name of that? I'm blanking, but hold on one second. Um, oh yeah, Shout Factory. Shout Factory, the work Shout Factory does. I would like that for things like, a new subtitle thing, updated from an old show. Uh, new whatever. We got the masters, so we have a different transfer of this because, the old one just wasn't great, and so we got this thing going. So now we can give you a better. It'll look a lot better, uh, and yeah, and with a better translation, and or localization like that. That I think could be interesting. I don't know if we'll ever see that, but I think it could be interesting. Um, because I think there's some shows that have a lot to offer that there's just some things that, like I said, are just lost to time because the company that had licensed it went out and or yeah, there was a I watched a baseball anime that never came to the US that was like kind of super interesting. I believe I watched that on Kiss Anime. Uh, so I don't know. I think that's I do want people to get paid, as we said earlier. I always want people to get paid, and like you know, uh, I did like a month of anime strike, which was you had to pay more for when if you wanted to watch things on that service, even though if you already had Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, I should say, you had to pay more to watch them there, which I did not appreciate and enjoy, but I understood to do, and I only did it once, 1 month. Waited for a bunch of shows I wanted to see to be on there, and then just watched it all. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if there was more stuff on Prime, I would watch more stuff on Prime. I'm paying for Amazon Prime. I would totally watch more anime on there if they picked up more anime for me to watch. So M17, great. Um, I would worry about jobs at Funimation and Crunchyroll if they were under one roof. Yes, yeah, and definitely. Uh, yeah, I mean, like, already people are worried about like when are we gonna have cons again? Because there's whole con teams that exist, and do you need the same marketing people? Do you need the same, because when they had a partnership, there were still two different companies. But yeah, I mean, like, then it becomes an issue of well, where are the redundancies? And people love to remove redundancies and try to merge teams and all that other stuff. Like, yeah, could be bad. Um, yeah, and what does that mean for Verve? Which because the people that basically run Crunchyroll also started Verve, and then like, does the High Dive deal continue? Because some people really like some of the shows that High Dive gets, especially some of the dubs, and then the work that Crunchyroll has been doing on dubs. Like, does that continue or does that end? All right, so we're doing our framework here. I did miss a step on the framework. I got to put rocket booster things on here. So I messed up. I got to fix my mistake, y'all. I put it on without adding in the tiny rocket things. So I got to do that. So Lashbrook, I don't know what the deal with that is, but they do different things. Yeah, so like um, GameSpot, it's the same thing of like people were like, oh, OneUp and IGN are going to coexist. When OneUp and IGN got bought, one of those sites was going to go away because they couldn't coexist the way they were. It didn't make any sense because they did the same things. Whereas Giant Bomb serves a different audience to GameSpot, and also one would assume probably part of it is keeping that. But it's basically like uh, if Giant Bomb was bigger than it was, then it would have gotten folded in so they could have the technology, so they could have the wiki stuff, and all of that. But instead, they bought a niche. Now, sometimes those smaller sites do get sucked up, like GameSpy got sucked up. Like I said, what was that first merger? Because before IGN ended up got merged in, OneUp got sucked up in there. OneUp was also merging with a New York-based one, and I forget the name of it. It was like initials, and I never heard of it. The only thing that came out of it was Chris Plant worked for them, and so Chris Plant was doing OneUp stuff, and that was cool. Way before Polygon, obviously. But I forget. It was U something or UGO. Thank you, Harold. Harold, thank you. Yeah, UGO. Uh, and then that went away because that didn't make sense for people's bottom lines, and things need to get merged together. And you know, they just sometimes that stuff doesn't make sense for people. Um, Especially like I said, if they're big. If they're small, sometimes it's just like, well, this is our niche brand. And what else can we do with this niche brand? Can we do anything else fun with it? Blah, blah, blah. And it'll be interesting to see how long that goes, especially with CBS. I think they're going CBS Digital is the new name they're going with. They're getting rid of the interactive part of the name, it sounds like. So who knows what that's going to lead to, uh, if that's going to lead to any issues. But uh, yeah. So Epic Open World, there will be, in my opinion, there will be an E3 again. Because so even though E3 probably should have died this year because it didn't die, it got postponed, or canceled or went digital. There, while there probably should not have been an E3 this year, there was still gonna be an E3 this year, right? So the thing is, the industry will want to do it again. They'll be like, we got to get back to E3 and bring it back, and we can't let this virus beat us, even though we shouldn't do an E3. And I do believe that some of these sites' revenue, a lot of this revenue, is about people coming and watching stuff. But I also think that that was trending away anyway. That was certainly trending away because uh, people were just watching coverage on Twitch. They weren't reading on those sites. They were going to their news things, and they also had people they were following on YouTube that were telling them about cool shit. And I think that's less and less. I'm sure the numbers were still good last year, but I have no idea how good they were. I mean, that's not my. I'm not an analyst. Uh, hey, what's up, A&G? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we have built the interior walls here. We've got some more interior walls of this armor, so we can put all that on. Um, like I said, we're going to eventually remove this part to put on the other part there. We are going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two, but I want to get some of this on. Basically, they're just like, here's all the sections that need to go on this, and then here's what you got to do it. It's a lot of components that have to go on here, but it's going to turn out pretty cool. So we'll get more of these interior walls on now, and then we'll start doing some of the exterior walls. But yeah, this is basically like, we're going to put some big old nonsense armor on this. We got to do a little more. The money comes from sponsorships for all their live shows, commercials they have during the live shows. Yeah, I mean, that's some of it. But there's still page views and all that other stuff. But I don't know. I think that there'll be a push for a new E3. Who knows when when that would happen? But I don't know. Been on the lookout in the mail. I ordered a Lego kit for me from Amazon. Hell yeah! Thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. I will keep an eye out. Because the next thing we'll be building off the wish list is going to be something from Lashbrook, and then that'll be on deck. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Appreciate that. We will talk about, during the old pause for the cause, we will talk about ways you can support the stream, including if you were like, I would also like to buy something from your wish list so you can build it. I'll tell you how to do that when we get there. But that's coming up soon. I want to get a little bit more of this armor on, and then we'll get to that. I appreciate that. Thank you for buying something off my wish list. Makes things a lot easier, folks. If I have a backlog and then people send things, again, never have to do it. But yeah, always appreciate it. Nobody is ever obligated, but it's there, and it does help me out a lot. Currently trying to get some people who owe me money for some work to pay me that money. I need my money. Give me my money. So I'm currently on that. So yeah, every little bit helps. All right, and then we'll put this here and put this here. Ooh, that looks pretty neat. All right, we'll do the other arm, and then we'll do the legs after. But we'll do the other arm, and then we'll take a pause for the cause. So let's get this armor on. That looks pretty neat. Well, also, when we're done with the interior armor, before we start putting the exterior armor, I'll take another photo. so you can see, people can see the progress of it, because this is pretty unique. It's pretty different. But I think it looks pretty rad like this. You know, usually if we see a big upgrade in a model kit or in a Gunpla, you know, some sort of mech, it's like, oh, they built a new version because it got all beat up. And this is just like, let's just outfit some cool armor on top. I was going to put some badass armor on top of this thing. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we'll have a frame because that makes some sense. All right, some snips, cuts. It's a little warm in my room tonight, y'all. Just letting you know. We got central air, but it's a little hot in here. I've had my computer on all day, and I've been maybe stuffy in here because of working. Got a little warm in the old bedroom. Or maybe it's this light right here, shiny. It's just heating things up. I don't know. Okay, and then this goes like this. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's neat. Okay, so, hi everybody. We're going to take a pause to the cause. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, you can go to the Baer Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know. Be like, hey, I've got this thing. Encourage people to do that. Becoming a subscriber means a lot to me. And I appreciate it. You're under no obligation to do so. But if you'd like to, if you're ever thinking about doing it, it is a great way to help me and what I'm doing, so I appreciate it very much. You can use cash money and become a subscriber, and then it just goes as long as you want it to. Or you could do using your Prime, and you could do that because if you have Amazon Prime, you link it to Twitch, you get a token every month that you can gift to somebody, and that is a way to support me if you chose to give that to me. You can also gift subscriptions to people. That's right. If you wanted to do that, you could gift someone. We haven't had any gifts this month, which is okay. No pressure. But if there's somebody, you see somebody in chat, you want to give a random person, maybe somebody that's chatting, or just, yeah, anybody, and be like, hey, you get a cool thing right now. I'm going to do that. That is an awesome way to support the channel because you're helping out somebody else and you're also helping out me. So that's great. Again, no obligation to do that, but I would appreciate it if you're interested. Let's see. What do we got to do here? You could also do bits and coins. Bits and coins always appreciated, just a little bit of extra. You know, if you watch some ads or whatever or something and you get a little coin in your pocket and you want to spread the love, you could do that if you wanted to. I have a Patreon. You could join my Patreon. There's tiers, $1, $3, $5, $10 tiers. Those tiers are different than, Twitch. So maybe that's an alternative that you'd be interested in. I have applied for Coffee Gold. Do not know if that's going to go through, when that's going to go through. The plan will be to start that next month as an alternative to Patreon and an alternative to using Twitch subscriptions. That's another thing. But, you know, you're under no obligation to do that. Let's see. Hoopa-doopa-doop. Scooby-Scooby. We just had a new subscription. Thank you so much, A&G. Adjective Noun Gaming just gifted one sub, which is your first one, to Nick Prenny. Welcome. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Baer Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in there. Thank you for that gift sub, for your first gift sub. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for supporting the channel and helping me out. And welcome, new subscriber. I hope you enjoy. That's rad. So we're going to get through these pretty quickly if we can, but we'll get back to building very soon. So I got Patreon, I got that. You also, if you're like, hey, I got like $5 you can have now. I can't do this every month, but I could do it now and again. Well, I've got something for you, and that is donation links, which is Coffee and Streamlabs and PayPal and anything I get through that. All the money I get through Patreon, any money I get through Twitch, all goes into buying kits and equipment so that I can keep doing this lovely thing. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it. I have an Amazon wish list. We mentioned that A&G bought something off that Amazon wish list, so we are going to talk about that right now. I'll go to it and kind of talk about it for a second. I got a bunch of stuff on there. I got Lego sets. As mentioned, recently a Lego set was purchased, and I will be building a cool 3-in-1 sports car, which is awesome. But that is the thing that I'm going to be building. I'll do the one thing because it's 3-in-1, so it's 3 builds, which is a fun little thing. Even though it's only 130 something pieces, get a lot out of it. That's fun. But yeah, I got that. I got model kits, high grades and master grades, and the prices fluctuate depending on the kit, but there's a bunch of cool stuff in there. A couple real grades, some things that are cheap, some things that are expensive, some things that are out of stock right now, but hopefully will come back. Um, the Curios Master Grade is down to $55. That's still very expensive, and I'm not saying, hey, you need to buy that. Somebody buy that for me. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's a very good kit, and it's a good price right now. That is just a PSA. But if you were like, oh, and like I said, if you buy something off my wish list, I'll build it before I build the things in my backlog. I've got 2 kits in my backlog that I'm looking to build, but I'm not going to do that if there's stuff coming in from you because you bought something awesome. There is an alternative, however. USA Gundam Store. You could buy a gift card from USA Gundam Store. You buy something and you buy that gift card, it gets to your email, and then you whisper me on Twitch, you DM me on Twitter, and you say, hey, here's this gift card. And you can even be like, hey, put this towards a model kit. Hey, buy yourself a Gundam. And I'll use that. And I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store. So if you don't want to use Amazon, and you want to support a local, kind of local to me, a Floridian based company, you could do that. That is my alternative to buying stuff from Amazon there. I have a Discord. Join my Discord if you haven't. It's nice. I post build photos after every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It is very chill and cool, and you might get inspired for your next project. Let's see. I got the Discord. I got that. I got that. I got that. Videos. I will have a new Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday, but if you missed my live one, that's the last one that I uploaded. It was the live video that I did on Twitch talking about good shows for this summer that I'm watching, like every show, but focusing on the good ones. That's there. So if you're looking for some things to marathon, there's some anime you could marathon. And then Baering the List. This week was... Shit, what was this week? Was this Shonen Protagonist? Yeah, this was Shonen Protagonist. I'm going to double check. Yes, this was Shonen Protagonist. We got a bunch of views. That's good. And a few comments, which is from DW. Oh boy, Boyle. Got a few comments on that. Yeah, Shonen Protagonist. It's a long fucking video because there are a lot of Shonen protagonists, and I talked about most of them. I'm still waiting for the heat to come in from the Death Note fans because I shit on Death Note because I don't think it's good. So I'm expecting them to come at me. But anyway, as I said, new on Monday, new Pat Bear's Anime Club. That'll be then. I recorded it. It's uploaded. It's ready to go. It's good. And I think you'll like it. It is about, I'll tell you tonight because it's going out to my patrons tomorrow. So they'll know, the $5 and $10 patrons will see it tomorrow. I did a video about like some of the reviews and commentary and essay-based YouTube channels that I like. There are a few of them. I don't watch a lot of content about anime on YouTube, but I do subscribe to a few people. So I talk about those sites that I go to, and then mention one that is now gone, but will be rebooted in Patreon form soon, which is Getting the Robot, which is Federator ended up closing them down, which is a shame, because Getting the Robot was doing really good fucking work. But they are continuing. Beyond the Bot is the thing. You know, they were like getting the reboot, but now it is Beyond the Bot. They're continuing. So, I'll say this right off the bat, folks. I got busy and it came out in the afternoon, and I had a lot going on today, so I did not watch the OVAs that came out today for My Hero Academia. They are set in the third season, even though they are part of the fourth season in the OVAs, but they are on Funimation and Crunchyroll, and I will talk about them on Monday, which is great because I don't actually have a lot of stuff to talk about for Monday because basically I watch um, One Piece and Ninja Collection, which is a 5 minute show, and God of High School. So I'll have more to talk about. I'll watch those OVAs for Monday and I'll be able to talk about them then. So that's good. Um, I'm glad I'm going to be able to do that. And I'm glad. Hey, I always love it when OVAs come out licensed. Yes, Brozard. Yeah, My Hero Academia. They're back. They're both on Crunchyroll and Funimation, subtitled. I'm sure that Funimation will do the dub at some point. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But yeah, they're out. And they are set in season 3. And they are a two-parter. That is all the information I have presently about that. I don't know if there's any more info that has been put out, but that is info that I know. And yeah, it is. I'm excited to check it out. All right, so put this here. This is 7 and 6 and 7. Great. Um, but yeah, okay. So let me go through my anime stuff that I watched in the past 2 days. Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, which is on Funimation. So it was a beach trip. And one thing I'll say about this was it started with them at the beach, and then he flashed back to why they ended up at the beach. The cafe owner, the coffee place, he does an intro for the episode, which is very fun, and he even goes like he does the thing of like, let's go, and he's really psyched. And I wish every episode of that show was him like talking about like what's going to happen in the episode and then being very psyched about it. We don't. That isn't how every episode starts, and I'm like, oh, that's a shame. I wish every episode started this way because it was cool. Um, uh, so it was cute. This is a cute episode. So the thing I would have liked to see more of before we did the beach episode was the setup for the beach episode, which is that Uzaki, or Hana, we'll call her Hana. Hana got a part-time job where Shinichi works. Um, and there's a little thing where he's training her, but she's actually already been trained, and it's just a joke, and that fell flat, and I don't know why they did that bit, but they did that bit. Um, but yeah, Hannah's going to work there because it would be fun, and she applied to work there. So the two of them are now going to work, and that's pretty funny. That doesn't really go anywhere in this episode. Um, so Hana wants to go to a beach or the pool because it's like their vacation, summer break, and they want to go to the water. And, you know, because they were both in the swim team back in high school, swim club, I should say. And Shinichi hasn't been to the water since. So he gets talked into going, and he's like, all right, I'll go. It does not take much to get him to go, but he does agree to go to that thing. And so they're going to go. And then Shinichi's friend is convinces, like, I'll take care of it. Itsuhiro Shiro is like, oh, I'll take care of all of the details because he is trying to set them up. And then Amy is like going along as well. And then let's see what happens in this episode. I'll get through it fast. This was a fine episode. There were a couple really cliche moments, and I think that's the part of the show I don't like. So I really like the characters. I like how she is very friendly and fun with him, but is definitely like teasing him a lot and his loner lifestyle, and I think that's fun. I like how he's very serious, but also like just a good dude. I think that is a fun combination, and their energy is really fun. The show falls apart when it goes very cliche, which happens twice in this episode. At one part, he's blindfolded and falls on her, and his hand goes underneath her bikini top. And it is very like, and she is uncomfortable with what happened there. Um, but doesn't want to freak out about it, and it's just very cliche. At the end of the episode, there is a thing where he falls asleep, and she's like making fun of him, and he grabs her to hug her, and then that's how they spend the night. She's like, "Oh, he's a hugger. Wouldn't have predicted that." And it's cliche. So the cliche stuff is very cliche. I think the only clever thing was when they were in the subway a couple episodes ago, and he was so freaked out about uh, her breast being pressed against him that he forced himself to go into a fugue state so that he didn't remember what it was like because he was so embarrassed about it. Uh, that was new and kind of interesting. Uh, another thing in this episode that was fun that I thought was like really legitimately kind of interesting is so they're going to do a test of courage because they want to see like in the friend's mind it'll force like she'll be scared and he'll protect her and it'll be great. But instead, Shinichi fucking hates to be scared. He hates horror games. He hates horror movies. He does not want to be scared. He's basically just like, I hate all that stuff. You know why? Because it's scary. So he doesn't want any of this. So he is legitimately freaked out, and people like, and it's like kind of played up a little bit because Hana like steals his phone and makes him chase her, uh, which is probably the meanest thing she's done in the show. Is just like fuck with him in that way because he's clearly like freaked out and she's just like making it a joke, which I would say is poor form. Um, but it's still like pleasant. In the end, there's still some fun moments. I think. Is there anything I missed about this? Or yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how the episode ends. We do find out why uh, Ishihito is meddling, trying to get them in, is because he thinks that Shinichi is a really good guy, but he's too serious and he's not enjoying his college life, so he's trying to force him to have like some fun, which is nice, but also like he's going about it in a way, and obviously. Amy doesn't like it because she wants to observe them figuring their shit out. She doesn't want people meddling. Uh, so yeah, good episode. We got our fan service. We got Hana in a bathing suit. We went to the beach. Uh, so like that happened. Now that doesn't have to happen again. So kind of happy about that because I don't need that anymore. So that's nice that that is now over with, and we can move on to the next embarrassing thing for this couple. Uh, but yeah, good episode, good enough. It's good trash, y'all. It's good trash. Uh, let's see. Speaking of trash, Soma is fighter. This is Food Wars. Soma in this tournament is fighting Noir, the boring people. This is the military uniform looking chainsaw person that definitely did not have a chance at beating, uh, uh, at beating Soma. And it's like, okay, all right, lady, you're definitely underestimating the lead character in our show. He did lose a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't in a tournament. It was against a dude that he underestimated. So yeah, you're not gonna win. Soma's dad shows up because it's like, oh, this is like my son's coming out party of sorts. So I'm gonna be here to support him, which is nice because he did, disappear on him. So it's nice that he's back. Oh yeah, and then so Soma won, and then had the lady Sarge is her name. She's dressed like a military person. Her name is Sarge. It's not. Noir sucks. I've said this before. I'm a broken record. Noir is lame. Uh, they're not intimidating or scary at all. So uh, 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 Tsukasa, who we knew from, he was like the guy that Soma team defeated, um, last season. The probably should have been the last season because this shouldn't necessarily be the last season because I don't think it's that great. Anyway, you know my thoughts on this. Um, he's going to take on Asahi, who is the big bad. He's the head of Noir, or this loose collection of Noir, because there's not really a collection. The guy that brought these Noir people to this, uh, and Asahi wants him to bet his greater, Sukasa's greater, and Tsukasa has no reason to say yes to this. He's confident he's going to win, which you should be, but there's no absolutely 100% zero reason for him to put his prize tool on the line. And then it's revealed that Asahi's skill is cross knives, where he combines the abilities of people he's taken tools from by using their tools. So the basic idea is that, like, if he's using the tool of someone, then he can imitate and multiply, like cross, their ability. So it's like trace, which was a skill we've seen in the past, but like the hyper better version of trace. Uh, and now we're thinking about, oh, well, he didn't use Soma's knife. When he beat Soma, he was like, actually, I don't want this, which means that he didn't think that Soma has any skills that he can take. It also is probably why his plan is to marry Erina, and have her, because she has the God tongue. You can't imitate the God tongue because it's not tool based, it's her tongue. So that must be why he wants her to marry her, basically, and get her abilities, because he can't just steal them by beating her. I guess that's what I'm looking at. Oh, and then also, he stole he beat, somehow in a couple minutes, he defeated and then stole all of the weapons of a bunch of the lame Noir people. Uh, a couple guys we barely saw cook at all. They were just there. But he took their powers, so now he has all their weapons, and it's a whole thing. And then we got the preview that Aldini is going to face the bartender Noir guy, the old man bartender, in a team battle. And he says that the only teammate he needs is his brother. But then it looks like something bad is going to happen there, and maybe he won't be able to use his brother, and he might have to get other people. Now, why it's a team battle, whether the subordinates, I don't know, but I assume Aldini's going to win that because he's going up a character we won't know the name of until next week, so I imagine it'll be fine. And we didn't see any of Erina having to battle people that lost, which she seemingly has had to do to get there. Maybe she doesn't have to do that anymore. Maybe she'll have to do that again. We don't know. So let's see. Did I end up taking that photo, or did I just look at it? I did. Okay, so our inner armor is done. It's time to start putting some exterior armor on this thing. And to do that, we have to take this centerpiece part off, because we have to add some more armor to our armor. Which is like, okay, so we'll do that. So we got to put that on there. We put that on there. And then we put those pieces on there. And they all snap together. Okay. Wait. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we'll need I-15. This is going to go on over it. So I don't know why some of this stuff that we put on, we don't put on until we put on the rest there, but we're doing that. We got more anime to talk about, so let me give me a second here. I got more shows to tell you about. I got 2 more shows. Okay. Hey, pretty cool episode of Fire Force, because a bunch of nonsense is happening, and it's kind of interesting, all of the nonsense that is happening. They're in China, which was devastated by the Great Catalyst. Tekeru, who we know as Juggernaut, which is a good name. he's from that area. We see his parents, or he's bummed because somebody is attacking their potato fields. Maybe they'll figure that out. There's also apparently bandits and gas. So the gas is a stimulant that comes out of the lava pools and the rock and makes them kind of like high and hallucinate. And it's kind of a fun thing, like uh, the ways that they're acting out, including the whistle guy, the guy who's in charge, who is Pan, who is like really talkative and loud and kind of an asshole, like he's just yelling, which is the influence of the gas. Licht did not he put a gas mask on, so he's fine. There is a fun little bit where Takeru, who's large and could shoot missiles like fire rockets, um, and Shinra is on his shoulders, acting like he's the pilot, and that Takeru is the mech, and that is very cute. And I also like their friendship. That is very fun because sometimes these characters fight for no apparent reason, so I like when they're nice. It's fun when they're nice. So yeah, so that was kind of cute. That was a cute little moment there. And then, um, this is a weird thing to say. So in an anime where people have fire abilities, they have powers to control and manipulate flames, and sometimes people combust and become like monster versions of themselves that are encased in flames. These are all things that happen in this world, and I can kind of understand that. And then a giant sandworm shows up, uh, and it's chasing a mole, and that mole can talk. And now, talking animals are a thing that happens in this world. They're definitely like affected by the great catalyst that happened and all that. But yeah, there's motherfucking talking animals now. So okay, he also doesn't have a tail. This mole has like flames coming out where a tail should be, which is a good indication that like, oh yeah, something weird's going on with this. But yeah, that fucking happens. Anyway, they got to distract the mole so they can get away. And so Shinra and Ogun. Ogun is the dude that apparently trained with him. We hadn't seen his powers before. At some point, his powers are tattoos all over his body, and Ogun is the name of an African deity. A lot of the characters are named after deities. And I was a little worried about that. Still am a little worried about that. But we found out his ability is that he can shoot out like rockets or weapons. He can make flames into weapons, and he makes like rockets that power his snowboard, and he flies this guy on a snowboard, which is admittedly pretty cool. So that is the thing that dude does. So they go and distract it, but it's kind of cool to see him in action because we didn't really get to see him do that before. But yeah, he can make fire weapons, which is kind of neat. So apparently, the place they're looking to find is the Oasis, which is where the mole used to be, and it's probably why he is a talking mole. It's probably because he has spent time at the Oasis, and the Oasis must have changed him. In this desert area, there is an Oasis, and they're going to go there, and they're going to see what's up. So he's like, I'll be your guide. They run into a crow that can also talk. And they find out not every animal can talk, but some animals can. And it's weird. So then they make their way to the Oasis, and there is the tabernacle. That's what they call, which is like the lifeblood of it, which looks like a giant like nuclear power plant, but it's got lots of flames. And that is known in the world in Japan as Amaterasu, which is like this big thing that people made to like harness the fires to kind of power Japan. And so it's a smaller version here, but is this the one they made first? Is this a copycat, or is the one in Japan a copy of this? We don't know. And then we find out the people that are there are hellhounds, and they used to be regular dogs, but they were turned into infernals, which they're defeated. But there's somebody stronger who is different from them. And then Shinra has an Adora link telling him to protect the forest. So apparently there is some sort of spirit of some kind in this forest that is calling out to Shinra. And who knows what that's going to entail, but probably fighting. And maybe somebody that's, someone or someone's that's difficult to beat. Because I don't know. Anyway, that was that episode. And like I said, we're now pretty much in the second half of Fire Force, and I'm way more into what's going on here. This looks neat. Okay, so we got our first big piece of armor on. And now we'll work on the back armor. We got to put some armor on over our backpack. So we'll turn this around, and then we can put some pieces on over that. But yeah, we got to build the backpack up. I like that this thing added rocket boosters just for this armor, because that does make sense that you would need more armor if you were going to put this stuff on. That does track. If you're going to put a lot of more armor on there, you would need more boosters. Okay, and then we're going to get to what was, I would say, a pretty interesting episode of, sorry, I'm just going to, I got to delete some stuff here. Okay, we'll do that. Great. A pretty good episode of the Misfit at Demon King Academy. So, Anos got his sword. He's completing in this tournament that they're going to try to make so that he loses, because the Royalists want him to be defeated, because they don't want a hybrid or mongrel or whatever they're going to call him. They don't want someone who is not a pure-blooded demon to win this tournament. But he's definitely going to win, because he soundly fucking trashes the older brother of his teacher, who is like well known in swords or whatever. But he just like kicks this dude's fucking ass. While his fan club, because Anos has a fan club, they are not so secretly the Unitarians that are trying to unite all the people, but are definitely like they're trying not to let on that that's who they are, but that's definitely who they are. So they call themselves the Anos Fan Club, but they are also definitely in a fan club for him, because they definitely love him and think he is great. And why wouldn't they? Because Anos is great. So they sing a song that they wrote for him, which is cute. It's very cute. They wrote a song about how much he rules. It's fun. It's fun that they wrote that song. So they sing the song as he. It's not a great song. It's a fine song. Also, there's one of them has an eye patch, and I want to know more about the eye patch girl. We learned a little bit more about them in a bit, but I want to know more about this girl that has an eye patch. What's up with her? What's her deal? And okay, so Anos wins, and we find out that Lei has joined the Royalists, and he is going to be trying to take down Anos, which he will not be able to do, probably. But maybe he has made some sort of contract and deal. There's something creepy going on with the power inside him. They have like a mini face-off, and Anos is like something is protecting his heart, so he's made some sort of contract, and we don't know the exact details of that contract. This is not going on great, I think, because I got to put the side pieces on. I think that'll make it easier once those go in. So let's do that. I-13 and I-14. Let's see. Yeah. So, I want to say this. This is the thing. So, in the first episode, the character was named Ray. In last episode that we met him, in this last episode, previous to the one I just watched, his name was suddenly Lay, L-A-Y, instead of R-A-Y. And then today, in the newest episode, he is also Lay. So my assumption is that they decided they were going to go with the different this different way of going with it, as opposed to the previous one of calling him Ray. They're going with Lay. So if they did 2 episodes in a row, I'll go with Lay. Um, Even though Ray, I think, makes more sense, but whatever. Uh, let's see. So let's see. Okay. Anos makes it to the finals, and he's going to face Lay, which we know is going to come up. Anos leaves his sword with his mother and members of the fan club to look after it, because one of the rules is you have to compete with the sword you started with, because if you defeat someone's sword, it's like you're defeating them. So that's bad, probably. It's probably not a good idea to leave with his mom, because who knows what's going on, because he knows that people want him to lose. So he visits Lay's mother, who is sick with spirit disease. I want to mention now, folks, Sasha has not been in the last 2 episodes. She is of royal blood and may be forced into being part of the uh, uh, royalists. I'm guessing she's going to be the next person that Anos has to help, because she has not been in the last 2 episodes. So I assume that something bad has gone down, because she's just not around, and I don't know why she wouldn't be around. So Misa, who's also part spirit, is going to link with her to try to help her. And it helps her enough that she can explain what's going on. Well, Anos' teacher shows up, because she's like, I am going to take this sword so that your son can't compete, because I need to get revenge because he defeated my older brother. And they're like, no, you can't have this. And the fangirls try to protect her, and they get fucking royally trounced, but they do it while singing the song they wrote about how much Anos rules, which really pisses her off. And then he shows up and saves all the girls, heals her mother's leg, and then is like, what are all your names? Because, you protected, because they protected his mother selflessly. And so he's like, what's all your names? I'm eternally grateful to all you. And they all tell him their names. And he remembers them forever, but I forget what they are. And maybe it'll come up later, and I'll remember, because I do feel bad, because I did say I want to learn more about the girl with the eye patch, and then I totally could have learned her name here and then didn't. Did I miss a step? What's going on with this? What is this? Where's this clip into? Sorry, I'm going to try to fix this here, and then I'll talk. Okay, this does snap it all together. I would say this back armor kind of goes on a little sloppily. I would like this to snap into each other a little bit more. It's probably so that you can remove it easily, if you want to, trade these things up and around. But I would say that it also doesn't feel necessarily great to put this together like this. And then we put the booster covers on. Anyway, so this teacher, she's been messing with him, and in what he's been up to, and he's been pretty like blasé about it, except that he hurt his mom, or she hurt his mom. So then that's it for him being nice, and he says something like, I didn't think I could lose control in a rage, but thank you for teaching me that I can. And he gets fucking pissed off and kills her, and then makes it so that she's reborn as a hybrid, which she definitely hates, and then curses her, so every time she dies, she will be reborn again as a hybrid. And he's like, maybe someday you'll learn a lesson to get over this prejudice of yours. And she doesn't take well to that, because she is, doesn't think that they're worthy. So she's definitely just so mad. But yeah, he totally fucks her up. He makes her a hybrid. He makes her the thing that she hates. Uh, all right, these little pieces don't want to go on, and I don't know why, and I'm not going to worry about it. I might figure out why this doesn't work off stream, but I can't get these two little pieces on, and that's okay. We'll move on to doing the front waist because we did that part here. Let's get to these. Will be easy. And then they're gonna fight in the next episode, and that's it. Lei stops Misa from helping his mom because Misa could might not survive this, which I guess is nice of him, but also like okay, you don't have to do this, but whatever. I guess you feel like you have to do this. There's a flashback where Lei is like telling her that he lost. He actually lost a sword fight, and he can't believe it. And he's happy about that because Anos is going to beat him. Anos is definitely 100% going to beat him next episode. I mean, we'll see if there's any more that goes to it. And then, like I said, sometime in that episode, we'll find out that Misha's been kidnapped, or Sasha, I should say, has been kidnapped because we have not seen her in a few episodes. Or she's joined the Royalists and left his squad, and she won't tell him why, and it's because they threatened Misha. But she should believe in Anos anyway because he is clearly going to be the Demon King. He is the reincarnated Demon King. He's going to be the new Demon King. Duh. We all know that because we know that he's going to win. But maybe she got killed and her source got compromised, taken over. I don't know. I'm wondering out loud about what's going to go on with the show. I'll say this. Usually these overpowered main character that is all-knowing shows up and does a bunch of bullshit. Usually those shows follow a little bit of a different, are a little more breezy. This show isn't that breezy. There's stuff that goes on. It's still pretty breezy, but it's not as breezy as I would have assumed. He's still having some trouble here and there, so it's still good. I still enjoy it. Again, it's like they all don't have to be incredible. It's like we already got Isaac-in this year. We got our incredible anime. We can have a couple good shows, even if nothing is fucking great. I'll take a bunch of good stuff. Like I know, as God of High School gets more and more fantastical, I'm liking it less, but I'm still going to keep watching because it is interesting. As I said, I'm kind of less interested in now that they're once they start adding in stands or blessings of gods. I'm like, okay. I thought this was just going to be a cool martial artist who seem way too cool for their age competing in this tournament. But there's a lot of other bullshit going on in this thing, and I was like, okay. I'm a little, less enthused about that. But whatever. There's still some good stuff this season. There's still some stuff to like. It's just not all. It's not my favorite season of shows. And Diary of a Days of Breakwater, as I said, is a good one. It's just not. It's not my favorite show this season. Okay. Gotta get this armor on better here. There. Like that. And then this goes on here. Okay. And then gotta put armor on the over top of this. So we got some time left. We are gonna stop in a minute or two, but we got a little time left. If there's anything anybody wants to chat about, anything they're excited about. Our next build stream will be on Monday, so look forward to that, where we will finish up this armor on Monday, and then we will start a new kit, which is the Impulse Arc. We built the Impulse Lancer. Now we're doing the Arc. So that'll be fun. And, yeah. Anything you're excited about coming up? Anybody got anything you're doing on Sunday that you're like, oh, Pat, my Sunday's going to be chillin' cool. I'm doing this and this. Let me know. Let me know what's up going on with y'all. There we go. That piece was hard to get on. Maybe we should have done this before we did this big part, but whatever. We didn't design this. We're just building it. But yeah, let me know in the comment, in the chat here, if you're up to anything coming up. Because we got to build, we got to do shoulder armor and arm armor and leg armor. But we'll get some of the, we'll do the arms here first, and then we'll do that. Which is, we'll get a little bit of this on. But yeah, all right. Like I said, tomorrow my plan, I'm gonna do a real long workout. That's gonna be real good. It's time to work things out tomorrow. So I'll get out there, hit the exercise bike, do a bunch of that. That'll be good. We dropped some frames at one point, not too many. So that'll be good. I'll get out there and do that thing. So I'm excited about that, and then mostly a relaxing day. Get some work that I didn't do today that I gotta get done, and then send out Pat Baer's Anime Club's episode to my $5, $10 patrons. That's important to do. And yeah, is there anything else I gotta do tomorrow? I'm excited about the MS Flight Simulator next week. Hell yeah, enjoy. That is not a thing that I'm gonna pick up, but enjoy it. Yeah, and then what else? What else is going on? What else is going on? Yeah, I got that. I got a new deck that I'm playing in Hearthstone. After Wednesday's stream, I started with a new deck that is pretty fun. It is a different kind of beast hand buff deck. It is an OTK deck, which I don't normally play, but it's pretty fun. So I'm trying that out and trying to refine that because I took a bit of a list from people. It only requires the same legendary. You said the Game Pass to see if my sort of thing. Oh, that's a good call. That's a good idea, Ashbrook. No, we're just gonna take the arm off while we do this. Yeah, my legendary that I already had in Hunter for my other deck, which is bad. Since I already had that legendary, I was like, oh, let me see if there's any other decks, and there's an OTK deck that I had all the cards for. So I was like, well, I'll give this a shot. So far, I have not. I'm doing okay, but I have to. I'm going to adjust it, try to make it a little better, because I basically got a version of it that is for standard, but I'm adapting it to wild because there's some wild cards that make it a lot easier to pull off the combo the way you want to. Arms like to pop off here. I don't need them to pop off. Also, I don't know how to get... With this extra armor, it's hard to put them back in. Stupid tubing things. Oh, this is a fun end of the stream where I'm just like, it would be awesome if I could get this on here. The arms didn't fall off this kit. That would be pretty neat. But yeah, this extra armor stuff is hard to get them on. And then I got this tubing shenanigans. So this kit is cool, but is definitely sometimes a little frustrating. So be warned. Alright, that'll do for now. And then... I just want to get this on, and then we'll probably end the stream. We are going to go ahead and raid somebody tonight, because that's what we do around here, is we go and give a raid and try to share the love. So we will find somebody cool to go and check out. Sometimes things are a little limited on a Saturday night. Not everybody streams late on a Saturday, because we are trying to, jump in. And I always want to get somebody before they finish their stream, because that can be annoying. I don't like raiding somebody who's then like, oh, I'm almost done. Especially if they don't also raid, because sometimes people don't. So they're just like, I'm wrapped up, thanks everybody, and they just leave. I'm like, oh no. Raid some fools. Alright, I'm going to finish these arms off stream because they're really frustrating me right now, trying to get these arms on. But that's going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and find somebody for us to raid right now. So hold on as I go and do that. Here I go, looking for people to raid. Who am I going to find for us to raid? No, no, no. I mean, we'll see if she's still going. Yeah. Kate Stark is playing Fortnite. So let's go see Kate. Kate's got a great community. Kate is lovely. Uh, so we'll go give Kate a follow because she's the best. So thanks so much for watching the stream. I hope you come along on this raid. If not, I'll be back on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, to finish this exterior armor and then start a new kit. So thank you very much. And we're gonna go and raid Kate, and it's gonna take a second for that to ready up. But yeah, come along on a cool raid and see a cool person. Um, you don't have to come, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.